I'm delighted to say that on the phone now we have Tamino. How are you doing today?
Good.
Whereabouts are you in the world today?
I'm in Antwerp.
And that's where you're based, isn't it?
Yes, that's where I live.
Tell us a bit about yourself and how long you've been making music.
I'm Tamino, 21 years old. Live in Antwerp. I think I've been making music from when I was 14. Before that, I did classical piano, but then I realized that it wasn't for me. I don't know. I realized quite soon that I wanted to make my own music, and then as soon as I started doing it, I was obsessed, and I still am. And then at a certain point, it became a career, and I'm about to release my debut album now, so...
Yeah, we can't wait to hear. We've been loving the single Tummy here at Amazing Radio. But
cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem at all. Just tell us about those first steps you made, turning from classical music to writing your own kind of things. How did you first start, picking up different instruments and then maybe recording yourself? What was the first steps you took?
I think it was my first song I wrote was for a girl, and it was the worst song I ever wrote. And then my first instrument was piano. So after doing classical, I sticked with it for a while, making my own songs on the piano and singing. And then I gravitated towards the guitar.
Yeah.
Because I found my grandfather's guitar. He was an Egyptian musician, singer, and actor, I went to Cairo to visit his old house, and I found his guitar.
Wow.
And it was a big motivation for me to learn the guitar and to one day be able to play that guitar, and now I use that guitar on stage as well.
Wow.
I don't know. For me, the guitar feels like it's a natural instrument for me to sing along with and to perform with. But I still play piano, but not as much as guitar, I would say. And I also play a bit of the oud.
Yeah.
It's an Arabic instrument, and it also is very inspiring for songwriting.
Yeah. And what's the process like? Let's talk about the record then. It's coming out on Friday. Mm-hmm. What was the process in terms of recording the record?
Well, it was a year-long process. Last year I broke through in my own country, in Belgium, and in the Netherlands a bit, but it went quite fast. So I had a very busy schedule, and so in between the touring and promo, I was also starting to tour a bit in the rest of Europe. Mm-hmm. So in between, I had to record. So it was really a matter of finding the right focus every time again. But it really worked out, and I think it helped us in a way because we had a week of touring, for example, and then we had a week of studio.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 weeks of touring again. But then when we returned to the studio, we could really we were more like outsiders looking at what we worked on the 2 weeks before, and we could really judge it better that way.
Was that because you tested the material to a live audience and you found out parts didn't work, or maybe you found out the parts work better in places with more emphasis on certain sections, and then you took that back to the studio?
Well, it was definitely also helpful. I always like to perform a song live especially to kind of notice how I am feeling when I'm playing this song,
Yeah.
And if it feels right or not. But also just, looking back at what we've done with more like an outsider view, that has been very helpful because more like in an objective way, and like what you do when you're building on a song is you tend to record a lot of different elements, and then sometimes it's too much and you have to downsize it again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is all part of the process, I guess. Influence-wise, do you take influences from music, film, literature, or just life in general?
Everything together, you know. I think what makes me write a song, I still don't really know.
Yeah.
It's I think it's definitely work,
Mm-hmm.
and then the inspiration comes, and where it comes from you don't really know. It's something that Leonard Cohen used to say as well. If I knew where songs came from, I would go there more often.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, other art is very inspiring. You know, a lot of different. I listen to so much music, and I read a lot as well. I love literature. I especially love the work of Khalil Gibran. He was a Lebanese writer.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a very beautiful romance to his writing, and it's very inspiring.
Well, that sounds interesting. Someone I've never heard of before. What's the name of some of his books that we should check
Well,
out?
his most famous work is The Prophet,
Okay.
and it's a small book, but it's full of kind of life lessons, but in a very poetic, romantic way, written in a very poetic, romantic way. And it's really beautiful. You know, he was a Lebanese guy who moved to America at a young age, and instead of going along with whatever was going on there, he just kept on doing his own thing, and you really feel that.
No, that's good. I'll definitely check that out. Thanks for the tip on that, Tamino.
You're welcome.
So the big day is on Friday. The album is finally coming out. How's it feel?
Very good. It feels very, very good. It's exciting, you know. It's really an album without any compromise. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. So it feels very good that it's finally there and that people will be able to listen to it. And yeah, very happy.
You're going to be supporting it with some live dates as well before the end of the year. You've touched upon it earlier, but what can people expect from a live Tamino show?
I think just sincerity, depth. You know, like also I think you can expect. If everybody, it's kind of a shared experience between me and the audience. You know, like there's always a lot of energy. I don't know. Yeah, it's. I think.
Yeah.
It's just very. It's. You know, I'm not like Bob Dylan, who used to say. I don't know if he still would say it, but like that he's not really. He's kind of. Just doing his thing. He's not really caring about the audience, or you know. I mean, I love him, though it's not an insult or a judgment. But I do care about how the audience is reacting on my music, and if everybody is like really attentive and in that moment and all willing to kind of surrender to the music, then I think it's one of the most beautiful evenings for everybody there, you know, for me and for the band and for everybody in the audience. It's just kind of giving each other energy, and it all builds to a big I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that comes from being a fan of music yourself and going to gigs and feeling that connection with the performer yourself?
Yeah, you know, I have a very good example when I went to Nick Cave, his concert.
Yeah.
You know, I was really just transcended to a different place. You know, he really has that within himself, but it's also thanks to the audience who was all there. They were all there with him, you know, and
playing their part in the show. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's and it was just beautiful. It was just fantastic.
No, that's wonderful. Tamino, what's your plans for 2019? Are you someone who's always busy? So as soon as this tour finishes, I know you got the record coming out on Friday, and then you'll have to do a lot of stuff around that. But are you someone on their downtime who's constantly thinking about the next project?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always, I'm very, very happy with this album, but I'm already working on new things, and I think it's the only way to keep on evolving and keep on learning, and just keep on moving forward.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. Tamino, thanks so much for joining us here on Amazing Radio, and thanks so much for making such a beautiful record.
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for calling.
No problem. Thank you.